Hi everybody, my name is Paige Dine and thank you for watching my Battle.net launcher redesign for Blizzard apps and games. I did this redesign as part of a final assignment for Dr. Twidale's Usability Engineering course at the iSchool at Illinois. I'm pursuing my master's in Library and Information Science and I will graduate in May of 2018. Before we get started, I want you to know that none of this intellectual property besides the overall layout of the design that I have created belongs to me. All other things belong to Blizzard Incorporated. So, many of you may not be familiar with the Battle.net launcher. Here's a photo of said Battle.net launcher. This is the one that I use to play. I am an avid player of Overwatch, and up at the top you'll see that it has games, social, shop, news, and BlizzCon. At this current time, most gamers do not use the social interfaces in the Battle.net launcher. They currently use other apps like Discord in order to do voice chat and conduct type chat with other members of their group that they'd like to play with. So I wanted to kind of bring you through this process of me trying to integrate more social features into Blizzard's Battle.net launcher redesign, as it's solely lacking, and most Blizzard games involve multiple players and people who would want to work in teams. So my first redesign was to just cut and paste elements of the social tab into the home screen. When I log on to the Battle.net launcher, I want to see who's playing what, and I can do that by the icons and where they are in the map. So there are some great features that Blizzard has built into this launcher, but they're not using them on the home page. I can see how many friends are logged in, which if you can see has moved from the top right corner to the left corner. Excuse me. I can see where they are in the map, but I can't really interact with my friends unless I know to right-click, or if I want to request a group and launch a game that they're playing, that's not currently an option. Here's another redesign. I thought, alright, we already have this right menu at the top here. Maybe we should just keep it. But then I was like, well, where does the games and the social tabs go? I like this idea of using the icons as a way to navigate what games your friends are playing. So I finally settled on this design here, and this was just a really low-fi prototype I put together in Microsoft Paint. We'll keep the social stuff on the left, we'll renegotiate the tabs and get rid of the games tab, and games will be the default screen that people come to, and then you'll be able to set your preferences for which games you have here along the bottom. And of course you'll have play. So what did this look like as a wireframe? Well, let me show you. So I'll walk you through this. I won't go through every step and thing that you can go through in the wireframe, but here we have Keep Me Logged On as an option. I built it out simple. It's just a login interface. If you click Forgot Password, you can sign into Battle.net online and reset your password if you'd like. So I selected Login. This is that Blizzard social interface here with the games as the default. So over here I have Logout, Help options. If I want to launch Blizzard.com, I can. I then have my social, shop, news, and BlizzCon tabs, but this is overall the game menu. We see here I've selected Overwatch, and that's the default. I did not make any of these components interactive. Over here we can set our status to online or offline to let our friends know that we're willing to accept requests from them. So let's go back online. We can also adjust things in our settings. I can log into Twitch and YouTube here, or I can use these hot icons, hot buttons here, to launch either of those two streaming services if I wanted to stream. I can also mute notifications, and I can log out from this menu. So this is just keeping the same basic idea of what that Blizzard.Battle.net launcher interface uses. How do I log in? How do I manage my own settings? And where does that information kept? So it's kept up here. This icon here denotes how many of my favorite friends are currently online and playing. In a new prototype, I created a scroll bar for this menu, but this is the favorite friends menu. You can unfavorite a friend by clicking the heart icon, and then after you log back in again, this friend will disappear from this menu. You can also right-click on your friend and favorite them and unfavorite them that way. But let's go ahead and give them back their status. We also may want to see how good our friends are at playing certain games. So I see that this person's playing Overwatch. I'm currently set to play Overwatch. Maybe I want to request a party with them, but I should investigate their ranking first. So over here with the information icon, I can click ranking, and it says ranking for friends battle tag. Your battle tag is your user ID for Battle.net and Blizzard games. It's defaulted to the current competitive season, so this person out of 3,500 points has a 2250 season rating. It's pretty good. These would be the icons for the first, second, and third most played characters in that season. I can then also go back and compare it to past seasons with this scroll bar menu. So in the competitive season, last competitive season, season 12, they actually performed significantly better, and they may have had different characters at that time as well. If I want to click out of this menu, all I have to do is click anywhere else on the screen. And now knowing that they're really great at doing competitive, because maybe my score is 1800, I can then request a party. And right now, currently, you can only request an invite while you're in the game. But this would allow you to execute the play function down here and send a notification to your friend in-game before you even log into the game, because you're already online. So if I want to say request invite and launch, you'll see here the play button will go blue, and then that's when another screen would pop up. If I say no, it'll simply go away. But let's go ahead and say yes, we want to play with this friend. So this blue button's launched. Overwatch would pop up in a new screen. That is some of the range of this home menu here. We can also select what region we'd like to play in. Oh, and please excuse my icons here. These were just quick grab icons. Here in the United States, I know I want to play in the United States server. I can set that server and then again push play, and we get our blue options. And we're ready to go. But of course, the social tab is important. It's something that people use and quite frequently use, actually. So let me go and show you what that social tab actually looked like. So forgive me for opening my files here. But I forgot to bring this one up when we came through. So this was the social homepage prior to my redesign. There wasn't much that you could do with it. So you had your basic information up here along the top, and you had your group chats and your chats. So these are private conversations between one person and group chats between multiple people. You could add a chat here on the left side or from your create a group or start chat. Now, I'd love to say that this was a really robust chat system, but it really wasn't. In order to start a chat, you had to know somebody that you wanted to start a chat with, and then this is an example of a chat. So this is my actual IGN, so if you want to follow me, let me know. But this is the person I'm chatting with, their Battle.net and ID. And then this is just the chat. It's just a regular chat interface. It has a scroll bar. You can pop out the chat, but most people don't use Battle.net in a full screen mode. They use it in windowed mode. And a lot of people get confused because they think that this button down here is actually the button to exit the chat. You actually have to right click and clear the chat in order to do so. But it's not really helpful switching back and forth between this games and social chat all of the time. So what was a way that you could create chat features was something that I wanted to focus on. So let me get back to the wireframe here. I'm going to chat my first friend and ask them if they want to play. So this is going to cause a drop-down box to occur. Now I did modify this in a new version when I did two user tests, one with someone who plays Blizzard games and one who doesn't, and they said they liked the idea that it popped out, but they didn't like that it was here. They would rather have something stationed over yonder. So I can't type in this wireframe interface, it just won't let me do that. But let's say I want to pop out this chat. Okay, now it's kind of magnetized to this frame. I can minimize the chat, and I can also maximize the chat. And look, now my friend is typing back to me. If I want to close that chat, I can simply click the X. Now, we'll see that my social tab is greatly changed. Here, we keep this menu. This is a static menu that stays with us this whole time. Our favorite friends, those are the people we game with the most. We want to know what they're up to and doing. Here we have active streams. Streaming is a great way to spread community and social identity throughout gaming culture, both online and via console gaming. So here, for instance, if I wanted to watch a featured stream that Blizzard had put up on their active streams, I could click play and it would come to this to fit this size. Of course, this one wireframe option isn't expandable, but the idea is you could also hit this and it would take over this menu, again, leaving your favorite friends static on the side. If I want to look more into my friends, I can search. It's the default of the friend list is for all, and I can then look at, oops, excuse me. Gotta go back a frame. I can then hit these hyperlinks. So if I want to look at only my favorite friends, I now can see my favorite friends as denoted by these filled in hearts, and say, oh, well, you play WoW too much. I'm not going to play World of Warcraft. I'm going to unfavorite you as a favorite friend. I can remove that favorite friend, and you see here that we now have more space on our menu. I can also look at just see who's online, which is a mix of our favorite friends and our not favorite friends, and what they're currently playing, or I can search by all. I can also search my friends by their battle tag if I know their in-game name here. If I want to know what other players are up to around the world, I can look at the World Ranking tab. This is actually something that I decided to get rid of in a other prototype, which I'll show you that prototype in a second here. But the idea was that we want to know who's the best at the game. So we want to be able to look up that information. You can either search by battle tag first without selecting a game, because people can play many different types of games, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Hearthstone, for example. Or you can select a game. So I'll click here to Overwatch. And then Overwatch has 28 different heroes that people can play as. So I want to know who's the best Ana character. All right. And then it'll show me this is their name and battle tag, and this is their season ranking for this season. And they're obviously really good. If you get to a certain level, you can actually go past the 3,500 mark. So that's a little bit about walking through my wireframe. You can also go back to the games, which is the home menu. Okay, and that's a little bit about what I built out. Here's your logout options. Help goes to the actual Battle.net site, and then blizzard.com. So let's take a look at, I said that I had some extra wireframes here that I built out, some new additions. So let me show you. So these were based on some of the edits that I had from my friends. This is a user test who, I've named him Jordan. That's not their real name. But here we see that we keep the static menu, but we label this menu. We've moved some of our icons. So these are still clickable hot buttons. I didn't edit the other frames that are connected to them, but just wanted to look at overall design. So here we have a friends list, okay, and still our battle tags. I denoted we needed more separation between what these red hearts meant. Everything was so black that we were having trouble with friends realizing that that would be their favorite, and we've also kind of nudged this favorite friends next to favorite friends list in order to show that that has a stronger connection. But he also said, I like this idea of the chat, but I don't like that it's taking up all of my screen. So here I've created a chat menu where you can sort your chats by group, in-game, and private chats, as well as chat notifications that you may have missed over time. These are direct messages. So you can add people to a chat with a hamburger nav. You can scroll through your chat. Here you get this person, of course my name's Paige, but we came up with this guy named Tobias who told us, hey, I sent this message, I played and won matches without you guys, and, you know, a little short quip back about, you know, well, did you get play of the game? That's what matters. And so I showed this actually to the person who did my third user study, and she enjoyed looking at that idea as well, but having it follow us into the social tab. So I've moved some of these options around, and we actually got rid of the world rankings because you can find them on Blizzard's website. So if that's something you want to see, that's something you're going to seek out. But this idea that the chat menu follows your social tab so you can watch your streams while chatting with your friends, that makes it more interactive. So those are just my ideas and a little bit about my process of what kind of happened. There's a design rationale for everything. Most of it was just putting ease of use and putting interactive elements into the Battle.net launcher. Most people play the game with two screens, so they'd have this up on one screen in windowed mode and be playing the game in the other, and they'd want to be chatting with their friends even if they were playing different games. So I hope you appreciate that. Thank you so much for listening. Blizzard, let me know.